Now, we know Kamala Harris is not going to do this. She was ranked as the most extreme liberal in the United States Senate based on her voting record. And my friends, I serve with some pretty crazy liberals, and she was ranked ahead of all of them. She co-sponsored the Green New Scam, and she supports every insane environmental policy that's going to drive American workers out of business, drive the price of gasoline through the roof, and drive Americans further into poverty. She is 100% responsible for the inflation disaster that is destroying American families. And under President Trump, we had a booming economy with no inflation, wages were going up, and people were saving, and young people were buying homes. Let's get back to that prosperity. We're going to fight for your ability to afford housing, education, healthcare, groceries. We want normal Americans to be able to afford a decent life in their own country. It sounds so simple, but it's got to happen. And one of the ways we're going to do it is drill, baby, drill. Get that stuff out of the ground, get it from our own people, get it from our own workers, and not from tin pot dictators all over the world. Now, some of this stuff, you read what Kamala Harris has said, and it's hard to believe. She wants to abolish ICE, legalizing squatting, and open the door for rapists, felons, terrorists, and murderers to vote. She also supports defunding the police. She opposes putting more cops in the street because she believes that police are a greater threat than the bloodthirsty criminals they lock up, and maybe they are a greater threat to her, but to hardworking American citizens, they are our protectors, and we back the blue in this country. Now, she wants to end cash bail, and what that means is that if you assault a police officer, you can be back on the street the very next day. In fact, when rioters and looters were burning American cities to the ground, including Minneapolis, Kamala Harris was raising money to bail them out of jail. Let's throw them in jail and support the cops. It's hard to believe, but it's true. She helped a group of anti-cop extremists raise more than $40 million to free scores of criminals right here in Minnesota. That's not across the country, that's just here in Minnesota. And I think in November, Minnesota's gonna send her a message. They've had enough of Kamala Harris's garbage. They'd like to have a real president. You can't make it up. Some of the criminals freed by Kamala include a convicted rapist, a knife murderer, a domestic abuser, who later shot and killed a man while he was out on bail. It's so sad. Thanks to Kamala Harris, Minnesota neighborhoods have filled and will fill with violent criminals. President Trump, you know what he did? He put them behind bars where they belong. And here's the crazy thing. She also supports confiscating guns from law-abiding citizens. So the criminals get to have all the guns they want, but hardworking Americans get nothing to protect themselves. That is a recipe for disaster, and we're not going to let it happen. She wants to make us sitting ducks in our own country. That's the policy that Kamala Harris has pursued, and we are not going to let that happen. We are going to vote in big numbers in November, and we're going to take this country back, right? We're going to save this country for Americans of every race, color, and creed. We're going to do it the hard way. We're going to do it because this country is worth saving. We're going to do it by fighting through the media lies, and we're going to do it by electing Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.